Welcome back to more Monster Train, everybody. My last run, unfortunately corrupted, but it was pretty straightforward. We ended up scoring a win, so here we are playing another one, and hopefully this one will be recording okay for your viewing pleasure. So, without further ado, let's jump into it. Alright, Stygian with Exiled Melting Remnant. Cool. Flash Freeze card I'm generally a fan of. Whiplash can be good if we get some strong burnout units. Extending their life can certainly help. Not generally a huge fan of Preserve, but it has its places, so maybe it does something for us this run. And of course we have Frozen Lances and Primitive Molds, so the molds we're either going to try to get some use out of or get out of our deck as soon as possible. And Tethys, fragile but powerful hero. So let's see what artifacts we have. Okay, we can either get the advanced prototype or the drop cage. So this helps us early. This clearly doesn't. We have no spells that interact with it as of yet. We could obviously find some, but I think I'd rather just go with the prototype and make sure our early game is in pretty good shape. Especially given that the primitive molds are looking quite bad right now, so we have a lot of blanks in our deck. Let's at least make sure the train stewards are doing good work. And for our champion, I'm going to go with the Frostbite upgrade. It just tends to be the most powerful one. The 3 health is an issue, and that's something we're going to have to find a way around, but I do think it's quite good in the long run. Okay, and we have spiked enemies, which would normally be a problem with our champion. Again, having 3 health means it's going to have a really hard time, but because we have these powerful train stewards, I'm not as worried about it. So I'm probably not even going to play Tethys, or maybe deploy it on the final floor or something. Really just looking for these train stewards to get the work done, and then if we're lucky enough to draw this when the boss comes, maybe we use it, but in the meantime, we're just not going to worry about it too much. So here I will deploy a train steward on floor 2. Certainly play one of these lances, and then just have to decide where I'd like to put the frostbite. Killing the priest sort of deals 5 damage to this, but I think the frostbite is just going to be good enough right there. And yeah, again, no point playing Tethys, it'll just die on the first hit, so it might as well not be against these guys, though. We do have the primitive molds, so maybe I'm okay with that, actually. Yeah, you know what, I've changed my mind. Alright. Well, this is a extremely weak hand, but at least we get to eliminate this guy. I am going to flash freeze here for the cash, and I guess preserve one of these molds so that we can try and get our champion back the following turn. Alright, we end up drawing more stewards, which is good. Let's go ahead and play one here. So the front unit's already dying, that's great. We can play one on the floor above as well, won't do anything this round, that's fine. I think just a lance here to save some fire health seems good. Obviously our steward's taking quite the beating from the spikes here with the multi-strike, but that's alright. These Whiplashes are really interesting. This is dying, so we don't have to worry about that. These guys hit for kind of a lot. Let's see what I'm drawing. I'm drawing Primitive Mold. And then who knows. Unfortunately, we're not likely to be able to eliminate this unit in the back. So when the boss comes up here, they're going to kill this front unit in one round, then we get an attack, and they're going to kill the back unit, and this guy gets to kill the other back unit. So I'm considering just playing a train steward with some damage shields down here. Yeah, I think that's good. And then we can get our champion behind it to apply some frostbite before the boss gets too far. Oh, that even kills, okay. Wasn't expecting it to quite be a kill, but I'll take it. Alright, there we go. No damage on that one. Like to see that. So let's see. We have some flash freezes already, but those are only way to hit anything other than the front, so I might take another one. Titan's Gratitude can be good if you improve it. It can become a strong spell. Let's see where we're heading. Almost always going the Merchant of Steel first, but perhaps we go to a Merchant of Magic on the second circle, so maybe this Titan's Gratitude can do something in that department. But I think I'd rather just have the Flash Freeze, just a less risky proposition. Okay, and here I'm probably looking at taking this Entombed Explosive, something for the Primitive Molds to hit. It's an alright card. Let's see what we can find here. Large Stone, health and attack, okay, so not bad. So we could try a big tanky Lady of the Reformed. It's never a horrible strategy. Maybe we even keep some of these stewards around, let them die, reform them, put them behind. Ends up okay. I think I like that better than the Tycoon. We don't have too many things dying at the moment, so let's take the Lady, and I think I will make her large as well. Just the extra health. And then extra tanky, so now she's very difficult to kill unit. That's good. And I have to consider whether I want to keep one of these stewards around for later. And with plus an attack, they're reasonable enough, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. It's not too expensive. And off we go to the next fight. I'll check the boss while I remember. Man, I swear my game's bugged or something. It's been this boss every single time, but good to know about. So this time we have stronger units, and given that we just picked up a whole bunch of extra health, I'm happy to go ahead and do this one. And the sweep boss unfortunately makes the champion not too useful yet again, but that's okay. Alright. Well, probably don't want to use the bottom floor. So let's just go ahead and set up maybe in the middle. And probably look to put his train steward behind. And then maybe Tethys goes at the top. That's fine. It shouldn't be too relevant. And we can use some of these just to do extra damage. Eliminate a hard-hitting unit. And this is exactly why I want to Tethys up here. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get a steward going, and I might just put a Whiplash on. It's going to get extra burnout anyway, so it's just a buff at this point. Pretty good. And the rest of this doesn't really accomplish much, so it's just a pass. Take some hits here. Totally fine. Extra tank up that way. And I think I'm happy enough. And there's our sweep boss, and I imagine we'll kill it on the next floor. These cards are unfortunately not doing a whole lot. We can play an extra steward up this way. Fire off the lands. Alright, and the boss is already dying. We could of course eliminate the archer, we could play more Whiplashes, all sorts of things. Our lady's just so tough that the 6 damage from the boss is not doing much. Alright, so another really solid fight. We can get a 4th Flash Freeze or a Titan's Gratitude, and also a Mollusk Mage. Don't think I'm too interested in the Mollusk Mage, not a ton of synergies with it. I could honestly see taking one more Flash Freeze, but I could also see taking the spell. Sort of depends which direction we go here. Honestly, I just like Flash Freeze. I'm just gonna keep taking them. And I really like Purifying Cleanse with the Lady being our main tank. That ends up being a really solid heal for her. And okay, interesting options. These Legion of Wax can be quite powerful if you can find the right buffs for it and perhaps trigger to extinguish. 1 second. So yeah, the Legion of Wax I've had some success with. I think without being able to trigger the extinguish is a little worse, but still decent. And with it taking up 4 tiles, we can maybe stick it on a floor with Tethys, and it's a pretty good tank, so makes a lot of sense there. Versus the Paraffin Enforcer, I'm not too excited about. It'd be good if we were building some kind of super floor. I mean, I can give it burnout, and it can sit behind the lady, and that's okay, but I'd rather not worry about that. The Lowstone, decent, but really expensive. We don't have a great place for it at the moment, I don't think. So I'm going to try the Legion. And that probably means we're heading to the Merchant of Steel rather than the Merchant of Magic here, because the Legion of Wax is quite bad unupgraded, but can be really strong when upgraded. So I think that'll be my plan, and we'll see what Stygian unit we get with it. Second large stone, not exactly what we want, but okay. Okay, we can pick up a Lodestone Golem again, or we can grab an AC Silophyte with its sweep ability. Let's see. I do like having a sweeper for the bottom floor. And honestly, it could even be her and the lady sitting on the bottom, maybe. Then like a Legion of Wax and Tethys somewhere further up. And then we don't quite know what's going on the final floor yet. That sounds kind of okay. Sure, I'll try it. I can buff its attack. That seems good. So yeah, I do think giving this attack is quite helpful. And I just have to decide the large stone on Legion of Wax is sort of good because it just gives so much more health to all of the smaller bits of the Legion, but the extra space is actually relevant because we largely picked it up because we can stick it with our champion. It's pretty helpful, but it is a difficult to pass up upgrade, I think. So I'm a little torn on this one. I could give it like a battle stone and maybe look for something else with a reroll. Maybe I'll try that this time. Make it a little bit weaker, but make it fit. Maybe that's insane, I don't know. But... okay, I think I'm just gonna give you more health. It won't hit very hard, but that's alright, it's there to cover for our champ. And then the Battle Stone, I guess I'll give it to Steward, make him a bit stronger. I would like multi-strike maybe on the Ice Silophyte, or Quick would be also great. Not too interested in giving it 5 and 10, so I'll try it like this, see how it goes. And of course check the cave, there's a number of events that could make the creatures we've upgraded better. Well, we get these instead, which are fine. Just deciding if I want to get a Train Steward out of the deck or one of the bad spells. And given the Train Stewards are buffed, I guess I'll go ahead and just Rail Spike one of these Frozen Lances. We'll want to get rid of those anyway, so that's totally fine. Alright, so pretty decent floor there, I think. Let's see what we can do on the boss. I don't expect there to be too much trouble. Our set is pretty strong right now. Alright, we do unfortunately have a smaller floor here, so probably have to fight on the bottom. I do want the sweeper on the bottom, so I guess I'm going to set these guys up on the top, even though the frostbite's not quite as powerful there. And it's just a question of whether I play one of these stewards into the bomb. Given they have damage shield, I might be alright with that. I'll just put the good one out there. If he dies, we can reform him later, and that's okay too. Alright, so here we'll go Lady, Silophyte, and I think I'm happy to have this hitting a bit harder rather than flash freezing the bomb. The Lady can take quite a lot of punishment for these early fights, so let's just do that. It's alright to me. Okay, let's see. So we have primitive molds and a steward. So obviously not playing these primitive molds, they don't do anything, so we'll just play the rest of our hand. I think flash freezing the bomb makes a lot of sense, prevents some damage. Lands doesn't do a ton here, so I may as well just hit up here. Yeah, this rage, not ideal for us, but is what it is, unfortunately. Still nothing to primitive mold. I guess I could freeze one of these for later when one of our stewards dies. Go ahead and bring it back. Alright, no place for these stewards at this point. We do want to purge this lance. Let's get that out of here. Kill this bomb, and that's about all we can do. So. Alright, boss isn't quite dead, but they're getting close here. Purifying Cleanse might just get us there, and it does. We can even apply some extra Frostbite. So, pretty nice. The spell weakness we're applying, not taking great advantage of at the moment, so we might want to look for one big spell as a finisher, especially since we have a way to freeze it as well. But let's see here. Sacrificial Resurrection, actually interesting with the Lady of the Reformed. We can stick a big draft behind it and then ends up doing quite a bit of damage. So that's something I could be interested in. The issue becomes sort of arranging our floors, rearranging them differently. Because then she needs something else, and the Silophyte doesn't quite fit, and all that good jazz, but Harness Titan I'm not interested in. Siren Song is never bad, but I think I'm going to grab this card, and I might end up not using it, we'll see. But there's some good potential there that I'm interested in seeing. So if we were to do that, we would need a different tank to go in front of the Silophyte. Unfortunately, these aren't really it. I mean, Siren of the Sea can kind of be a tank. We do have some amount of spells we get to cast, but I don't think these guys really help us out. I mean, the Wickless Tycoon we can give. Maybe the Tycoon's good enough. We give it a little bit extra health, and all of a sudden it can sit in front of the Silophyte while it cleans up cheap units or weak units, and we get to collect some gold on that as well. Alright, apologies for that break there. Let's see. So So I'm just seeing we have a Merchant of Steel coming up relatively soon. So I think I'm going to try this Tycoon and see if I can't sit it in front of the Silo Fight maybe. That can be an alright floor, and then the lady can sit with her Giraffe and maybe like her Champion or something. And we'll find a way for this Legion of Wax to do its thing. So yeah, I'm interested in that. And here I'll probably just take card draw in order to get through the bad cards in our deck a little bit faster. Alright, and here we can go for a duplicate and one last unit. Don't know that we need the unit all that much. Duplicate would be nice on... Could duplicate the lady, honestly. Which makes this Wickless Tycoon pickup actually sort of bad, but I can live with that. Having just two massive burnout tanks seems alright. We can mold them back for decent results. We have the Purifying Cleanse, of course. Versus this way is what, Cash and Artifact. I actually don't hate that, so we can have two floors with a Lady of the Reformed as a main tank. Hopefully one at the bottom where she sits with Sweeper, one further up where she sits with a Giraffe, and then the other 5 floors, Legion plus the Tethys. And then, sorry Wickless Tycoon, you weren't long for this world. The Roman Banner is sort of useless in that scenario, but I think that makes sense. I'm gonna try it. We made the lady quite strong, so let's see if we can capitalize on that. Certainly don't need a second one of either of these units, so I don't care about that. Let's upgrade our champion. Don't care about Conduit, we'll just keep stacking more Frostbite, it's totally fine. And then, yeah, we'll just dupe our excellent tank here. And I think I'm just going to immediately remove the Wickless Tycoon so it doesn't get in the way of me drawing other things. A little bit silly, but here we are. So that's 1, 2, 3. So we kind of have everything accounted for, which means I can start removing these stewards as well. So even the improved one might eventually get dusted here, but we'll see. Alright, 70 health, enemies on each floor. These ones don't hit the fire that hard, so I think I'm willing to try it. The only problem is trying to deploy Tethys. When there's enemies on each floor, it can be a little bit difficult, but I think for 150 gold it's worth a shot. So let's see how we end up here. Smaller floor in the middle is pretty much perfect, and we drew a Legion, which is great. So, I guess the only problem with this setup is that Tethys with his Frostbite ends up at the top, but I don't think it'll matter too much in this particular case. And let's see, Flash Freeze probably wants to just hit down here. And I'll preserve a mold for later. The preserve will probably circle back around. Okay, we drew both ladies. That's mostly fine. I do want to play one on each floor. Let's see, so if we leave this alone, these guys both get +4 each. So it's a hit for 12. So I'd rather make sure one dies. Even though it hits us harder now, it hits the pyre for a little bit less. Especially since this guy is likely making it through as well. So we want to really minimize the damage here. Okay, there's the Silo Fight. That's good. Let's see, you're taking 63. The problem, of course, is if I cast any spells, they'll get armor, so it's really hard to move the needle with that. So I'm probably just going to go ahead and apply some Whiplash to this unit. And let this guy get through a bit. Gets one more hit in the pyre. Hopefully that's the end of it. Let's see, we're not killing this. Can I change that? It doesn't seem like it. It's really unfortunate. Our Sacrificial Resurrection's coming here. In the meantime, I guess I'll heal up on the floor that doesn't have the incant trigger, that's fine. And maybe just do one of these. Seems okay. Yeah, I don't think this Frozen Lines changes anything, unfortunately. Starpire taking a bit of damage here, but it's okay. And here I am happy to just eliminate all of these cards. Well, maybe not the Purifying Cleanse. I'll go ahead and use that one. Then eliminate a bunch of these, play a Giraffe. Though I think the timing is unfortunate in that it's going to go up to 2 but then burn out. But, oh well. I don't think it'll matter too much. Especially with these draws. We'll just apply a whole bunch of Frostbite to the boss, and that should get us the kill. So here we go. This is a big part of why I like the Flash Feast card. It's good for eliminating backline units, but also on the boss phase it can get you a lot of damage going. Alright, so that cost us 28 health. Not great, but it's okay. Glacial Seal, powerful little unit, but we kind of don't have room for it in our lineup at the moment without finding some extra space somewhere. So I don't think that's what I want. Then we have an Offering card and a Discard card. Don't have any synergies with Offering at the moment, so not too excited about that one. The Drain's fine, but we're not really that worried about incoming damage, so I think I'm fine with skipping there. And here, removing Burnout debuffs. It can remove melee weakness, which sort of helps. As far as removing Burnout, not too concerned about that one. We can maybe use it in conjunction with something like Whiplash to buff a Legion of Wax, for example, and then remove the Burnout. But beyond that, it's not too exciting. Memento Mori, not likely to get up too high. And we actually kind of don't want Engulfed in Smoke. We need our ladies to keep taking hits. Especially at 2 mana, it's not too exciting. I'm gonna try the recruitment. I don't know how good that's gonna be, but it might do something. Alright, and the Merchant of Steel actually isn't super necessary. We really are just shopping for either quick or multi-strike on the Xylophyte, which will be good, but it isn't that important. Versus here we have, what, a Trinket Merchant, some extra gold. The health isn't bad here. I mean, I do want to pay a visit to a Merchant of Steel at some point this run, but it doesn't have to be now. So let's see, if I skip it now, I don't have access to it here, and then I have access to it again here, and it comes with removal. It's generally decent. Yeah, I think giving up an artifact and a chance at another one is a little bit too much right now, so I'm gonna head this way. Okay, Combustible Wax is decent. It just means our Ladies of the Reformed are much less likely to die, our Draft's less likely to die. That's pretty good, versus spell upgrade slots I'm not that worried about, so we'll grab the Wax. And let's see if we can pick up something else that's sweet. Don't care about all these spell weakness things. The Chestplate does sort of help Tethys out in surviving a hit from a sweeper, but we don't actually have a way to heal it back up beyond Purifying Cleanse, so it doesn't do that much. I'm gonna spend the money on a reroll here. There are some good artifacts out there that we could use for sure. Are these it? I don't think we want a volatile gauge. We don't have things that are that expensive. Not interested in exploding candle. Do we have any X-Scars? I don't believe so. Okay, so this ended up being kind of a dud. We just get to save a bunch of money, maybe purge a card or two. Let's see where we're heading next. Probably just going this way for some removes and a Merchant of Magic. I'll do one cut now, maybe two. These Stewards really not doing the thing anymore. I think I'll go ahead and do one more. Lots of cards I want to get rid of in the deck. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get rid of all the basic Stewards. And away we go to the boss. Unfortunately, I don't think our team is strong enough to kill these units all at once. We need all our floors to do the damage, so yeah, unfortunately, gonna have to keep this off, and the sweep's pretty dangerous as well. It means our draft is worse, it means our champion's worse. So, gonna keep that one off. And just have to see how that goes. Alright, middle floor smaller again. That's fine. We'll get a lady here, and well, so now it's time to think about it. Since we drew the Train Steward, as I mentioned, the draft isn't going to be very good because it's just going to die to sweep. So might skip out on the draft in this fight and go lady plus Train Steward at the top, and just skip out on our hero completely. I think that'll be okay. And then we'll just put the Legion in the middle. Slightly different, but I think it should work out okay. Alright, well, the Collector, not in the spot we wanted. I do need to get the Silofied down 100%. And then I just have to decide if I'd rather get this Legion of Wax deployed or make sure we collect our money, maybe play a few other spells. And honestly, given this only adds 13 damage, it's not really going to be useful until the boss phase, so I'm happy skipping it for now. That lets me kill this unit and then add Whiplash to either this or the Train Steward, and I think it might actually be the Train Steward right now. Alright, and of course, heal this up. Kill this back unit. What else do we have? Just Primitive Molds and Frozen Lances. None of this accomplishes a whole lot, unfortunately. I do think the molds will be good in like the final fight or two, as our tanks are likely to be dying at some point, but for now it is what it is. Alright, you can go ahead and explode, that's probably fine. That's dying, it's totally okay. This is dying to a sweep, but I think I'm happy to eliminate the incoming damage. And let's see, nobody has any debuffs, so I mean, I don't know, I'll clear your burnout, I guess. Is that even good? Not 100% sure, but we'll do it. And then just make sure you die. Oh, there's a sacrificial rite, not too helpful at the moment. Oh, whoops, that is not the card I meant to play. I had intended to preserve the Primitive Mold, but I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. I do want to play the Legion here, and then I have to decide if it's going to be more damage to Whiplash something or Flash Freeze. Let's see, so this thing hits for 5 times 5, so 25, so 3 volleys against this, 75. It's pretty close right now. I think Whiplash up here might be the best, which really means I shouldn't have taken the burnout off, but I don't think it'll be a problem. Yeah, I do wish I had a big spell to hit this with 4 stacks of spell weakness, but it's just gonna be a frozen lance, I suppose. Apply one of these, and the rest just don't do anything. Hoping the final feel really delivers here. Alright, and we're killing already to even do this and some extra flash freezes and stuff, so. Alright. Our buffed up Train Steward getting the job done even late in the game here. It's pretty nice. Good little backup plan we had. Don't think I'm interested in these cards. I got no room for these, and the Crystalline Seeds can be alright during setup maybe, but we have enough ways, I think, to deal with that sort of stuff. And another set of cards that don't really help. No room. Don't want to be killing our own units, and got enough reform as is. So. Pretty poor rewards there, but it's alright. And then yeah, we'll go this way and get more removal and see if we can't improve some of our spells. Permafrost on... not a lot I want Permafrost on. Maybe one of the molds, but it's a little expensive for that. We have a lot of them in the deck. 20 magic power and consume, great on lances just to get them out. Though I have to look at how many removals I'm going to get, because getting rid of all of the lances is a possibility. And then cost reduction. Whiplash has been really good actually, so I'll reduce one of the Whiplashes. We're happy to play that card pretty much whenever we get it. Let's see, so we're getting 2 removes here, 2 removes here. Probably heading this way, but not 100% sure, so we're getting like 4 to 6 removes for free. I probably end up removing the other Train Steward, even though it was good in that last fight. I don't know, maybe it's worth keeping in case there is more cleave and stuff. Cleave sweep, excuse me. In case there's more sweep, it can end up doing some stuff for us. So we could remove all 4 lances pretty easily and pretty happily. So I'm actually not gonna bother doing this on them, because I think we can just straight up remove them from the deck. That said, I'll take a quick reroll here. There are some things I wouldn't be upset about. Double stack, probably not one of them. Don't need to apply extra burnout, and extra frostbite's nice, but the cost makes it a little bit too much, I think. So we'll just take another cheaper Whiplash. And then yeah, remove 2 of these lances. Not doing much for us. Go off to fight Fel. Okay, adding Scourges to our deck. Not what we wanted, but we should have enough Pyre health that it won't be a major issue. Really loves making this floor smaller, which is not a horrible thing, but just something interesting. Alright, so I guess I'd rather make sure this floor is covered to start, so let's go with that. Get a Tethys up at the top. Start working on this statue at some point. And I think keeping the penance, man, I I'd really like to kill this because it means we don't have to deal with drawing the card next turn, but it means taking the penance damage now. We don't have anything to do with the second mana. The Frozen Lance didn't do anything, so I think unfortunately it's going to be that. We'll just have to look to kill this on a following turn. Alright, well we drew our Silo fight, that's really good news. That at least means we get to clear these guys out. Unfortunately, we also drew both the Legion of Wax and the Lady of the Reform. I think the Legion has to take priority just because our champion needs a little bit of cover. So the middle floor is going to be not great for the time being. Definitely looking to pick up energy from this fight. Of course, we can't do anything with the rest of these. So. Oof. Okay, well, we draw Whiplash, which is fine. But, yeah, these guys are going to get through, unfortunately. But we should stop getting any Scourges other than Fell, which is nice. And Sacrificial Resurrection sort of works nicely here, although I would like to get my Lady deployed first. So I'm actually going to go ahead and freeze this card. And in the meantime, play the wait. Let's see, we're dealing 13, 15. So this isn't even quite dying, which isn't great. This is going to be pretty rough. Let's apply some Frostbite to this unit, I think. Okay. Yes, this is getting through. What if I Whiplash our champion or the Legion of Wax, either one? Doesn't quite do enough, but it gets close, and then I can Wickless Recruitment. Yeah, let's try that, maybe. I'll do this, I'll get rid of Burnout. I could also heal it, but I think I want to heal her instead. And now I think a Flash Freeze might kill here. Okay, that's good. Guess we'll just get rid of the Penance. Yeah, drawing all these units at once and not being able to actually develop our middle floor has hurt quite substantially, unfortunately. So this bad guy is going to get in for a couple of hits. Can't do much about it, but we should survive. In the meantime, let's buff you, heal you. Man, these Frozen Lance is so bad. Don't think there's any reason to do it up here. This could take 12, 18 damage. It would need to take like 36 for this guy to finish it, so I can't quite do that. And this guy's gonna die in 2 hits from the Pyre as well, so there's no point hitting him, so I think we'll go double lances there and a Flash Freeze on you, perhaps. So now we play Lady and get to get rid of all these pretty handily with this Resurrection. This Giant Giraffe. Fortunately leaking one more thing, but we should survive this fight and we'll be alright from there. Yeah, this lady not doing so great on health, but There's not much we can do other than just flash freeze the boss as much as possible. So there we go. Second floor should do quite a bit. That draft hits real hard. Alright, that's all we've got. Okay, and it looks like we do in fact win, just barely. Alright, so let's take a look at this. Sacrificial Resurrection number 2. Interesting, but we don't really need multiples. Ancient Synergy I'm a little more interested in. This is good for our spell weakness synergies. It's a little expensive and it's going to get worse once we dump some Frozen Lances and stuff, but it's never going to be bad, so I think I'm okay with that. And then, as I said, take energy here to go with our card draw. Get our health up just a little bit. And this seems like a good time to go to Merchant of Steel and pick up the health, seeing how beat up we got, so let's try that. And let's see what we got here. So we could pick up the sweep here. That gives us the flexibility to set up our bottom floor with the champion. Though I don't know how much punishment the Legion of Wax can take long term, so it's a small issue there. But right now, if our bottom floor ends up being the 4, it is really awkward. And this gives us a little extra health to work with as well. I'm gonna grab this. I don't know how good that is, given that we already have a different sweeper, but what can you do? Large stone, not what we're looking for. Really just looking for quick or multi-strike. If we don't get it, we'll have to go somewhere else, but we got quick, so that's really fantastic. And then go ahead and remove the other 2 lances. And keep the rest of our money, I think, for the final circle. Yep. Spikes 5. That is certainly dangerous. Once again, it makes our champion and then even our Xylophyte really bad, so I think we have to keep this off, unfortunately. We have a little bit of money saved up at least. Well, the thing that I thought would happen happened, and it's now occurring to me it won't actually matter that we give this sweep because this still can't fit here. Could try doing something a little more wacky. I guess I can go Lady plus Tethys down here. That actually seems okay. So Lady Tethys, Lady Other Sweeper. And then top floor is this plus a Legion of, or not a Legion, but a Giraffe that we somehow try to extend the burnout on. It's not completely insane. We'll go ahead and give this burnout, it's fine. And then the Legion has to be on the top, I think. And the plus side of this, we get Frostbite ticking right away, which is great. So, not exactly how I drew it up, but I think good enough. Let's see here. I guess these will die to sweep anyway, so I might as well flash freeze the front one. And then, is there anything else worth freezing? I don't think it matters too much, so I'll just freeze this. How's this floor doing? Not as well as I'd like. once again, we're not drawing our Sacrificial Resurrection. That was one reason to pick up the extra one, of course. But Ancient Synergy should go ahead and kill here. Then I can apply more Flash Freezes. Whiplash here. It does look like this unit's gonna die, but we have the primitive molds to get it back, so it's not a huge deal. Although the timing on it could be a little awkward if it kills our champion as a result, which it does look like it's going to do. So we have to think about whether we can maybe fix that somehow. If I kill two of these, then I can kill the lady early and then get her back. That seems okay. Let's see, you're dying, you're gonna die. Yeah, that's probably the way to go then. And let's see what else. It's a little awkward. I would like to get this going, but at the same time, it's gonna be very bad right now, and I kind of need the Wickless recruitment to even keep it going. So I think we skip out on that. I don't even want to put this in the dead pool, I don't think. Yeah, that Entombed Explosive could be another candidate for removal as well, I suppose. Some big hits coming in here. Alright, you're not dead. I don't like that. But... well, let's see. Can I... yeah, okay, I can kill you and still do alright here. Let's just try to put out these fires as best I can. Respite. That's dead, so I guess it's a fine time for a Sacrificial Rite. None of this is critical, though the Ancient Synergy is nice. Go ahead and get this out here and hope we can find some ways to extend duration. A Combustible Axe, of course, keeping it somewhat alive for now. Alright, we draw a bunch of Whiplashes. That's totally good. Do you want to heal you? Whiplash this. Looks like our Legion of Wax is going down, that's okay. I think I'll hit the boss. This might reduce the damage, I'm not actually sure. Okay, I increased it, that's good. Alright, this floor is doing a reasonable job, and of course the top floor is going to do great, so nothing much to worry about here. There we go. Our powerful draft doing some work. Unfortunately, no trial, so only the $50, but we're at 350 for the final floor, it's not so bad. No synergy with Titan's Tooth, so I'm not too interested in it. We don't really have the spare energy to be just casting it, and these don't really fit our plan either. Second Wickless recruitment, because of this particular boss, is not completely insane. But I think that might be a little too much. And here, I'm probably going to go to the left, see if we can't power up our spells a little bit, get a little extra health, and I don't know what we'll duplicate. The Purifying Cleanse isn't bad, but we'll see what our spell improvements do first. Let's see, Flicker's Liquor is definitely definitely good. Trader's Cool and Hell's Banner. Trader's Cool not great. Hell's Banner, another solid one. So 2 good energy relics if we're interested. Let's see, Permafrost on Sacrificial, probably not. 10 magic power is definitely good. I like 10 magic power on a lot of these things. And then cost reduction as well. I think our energy is going to be fine, so I'm not going to worry about these and just see if I can't find something a little bit more powerful. These aren't really it, so I probably won't be buying any of them. So in that case, I'll go for maybe extra magic power and reduce cost on the synergy. That seems good. Skip out on the permafrost. Let's see what else we get. Double stack. Probably not worth it. Probably better off purging a card. And I can purge this stupid Tombed Explosive. Card's not doing much. And just get these 2 on something. We'll reduce the cost of a Flash Freeze, sure, and give 10 magic power to Purifying Cleanse. Seems good too. Yeah, what do we want to duplicate? The Purifying Cleanse isn't a bad one. I do want to make sure I have one of those around. Ancient Synergy, also decent. Helps us make up a little bit of damage. Maybe I'll try that one. Alright, let's see what we can find here. We got some hard-hitting units. Smaller middle floor, that's fine. Unfortunately, I'd like to deploy the champion up at the top, but it's going to be hard to do with the boss sitting there. The alternative is deployed on the bottom, but I do want the quick unit at the bottom, so I have to think about this one for a bit here. I changed things up substantially for the last fight. I really want the quick unit on the bottom. It's going to make a huge difference. I could go Lady plus Tethys in the middle. And then go like Legion and our Train Steward or something. The draft is good, but I guess the draft considered the top 2, that's totally fine. I just wanted to make sure I deploy our Tethys, and I don't want it at the top ideally because of you know, Frostbite just working better that way. So yeah, I think I'll deploy these in the middle and go from there. Go ahead and Whiplash here. And then probably kill this unit. This one obviously scarier, but I want to make sure our Pyre doesn't take the damage. We don't need it. Do have to be careful about buffing the boss on this one. Okay, there's that melee weakness. So we're taking 81 damage. It's an obscene amount. Let's go ahead and play a Lady here. Play Legion at the top. I guess for now I'll preserve the cleanse because that will be useful in turn here. And then Flash Freeze one of these units on the bottom. Oh, wow. Should have Flash Frozen the back one, of course. Forgotten that wouldn't instantly kill it. Oof. Alright, this hurts. But let's see what we can do. So the quick here should help. Okay, so now our lady is not quite dying. It's actually sort of bad. Well, I can't get her back next turn, so I guess I need to keep her alive for now. So let's heal this one maybe. Yeah, and awkwardly, I can't even do this resurrection here because I actually need these molds. These ladies that reformed are going to be dying on us. So, it's not a great turn. That's mostly fine. This dying presents a huge problem. If I double Ancient Synergy, can I kill one of these? Let's do the math here. So this is 44 times 3. It's like 130 something. So yeah, that will kill, and then... Alright, I guess that has to be the way we do it. Pretty unfortunate, but I need this quick unit alive. And then continue stacking Whiplash there, I guess. And both ladies that are reformed having a bad time here. And our champion's looking like it's gonna die, so we need to fix that issue as well. Steward can survive down here. Well, it can't survive, but it can block well enough for now. I guess it does survive, actually, because of the quick. Here, let's see, we're taking 3 attacks. And one of them's from the boss, so... Ancient Synergy should eliminate this front unit, I guess. Yeah, okay, so this works-ish. Then we can... 37 steals 11. So I can Whiplash this guy. Yeah, this is actually fine. So we'll go Whiplash, Flash Freeze, and the Burnout. Now I do need to start drawing my primitive molds soon. Yikes. Okay, wow, I'm just gonna draw all of them next turn. Alright, well, this is gonna die, which is good. I can eliminate this, which is good. So we're kind of doing something here. Let's see, quick. Get hit for 20, and then this finishes me off. Wait, actually, why is this dying? It has a damage shield. Quick kills the small stuff. Oh, this takes off the shield and the boss kills it with the melee means. Okay. So I think I'm actually going to apply more Frostbite to the boss, despite the incans here. And probably Whiplash here. Really hoping to draw multiple primitive molds this turn. Alright, well, I found literally every primitive mold, so great. That's not the one we're looking for, but I have enough of them that should be fine. So we'll play both ladies. And let's see. So at this point we're looking to get the Sacrificial Resurrection going soon. So I'm actually going to preserve the Steward just to burn him away. And then... I don't know, Flash Freeze this maybe. Our top floor not doing great, but that's fine. Okay, not doing a ton of damage there. Let's see, how do I want to handle this? Yeah, I guess I just make the biggest thing I can here. I have one more Whiplash to extend his duration, that's it. Because I'm getting rid of the Wickless as well as the Whiplash. Not great, but I think it needs to happen. Hopefully we draw our Ancient Synergy to capitalize on the spell weakness as well. Although this front unit surviving does make that plan a bit worse. I do have an Ancient Synergy, right? I have 2 in fact, okay. This is not looking great. Yeah, this is not looking good at all. So I don't want to get rid of the spell weaknesses, because I do want to save them for the synergy, so it means applying these flash freezes is a little bit awkward. So I will do that 100%. And I think I freeze one of these molds in the hopes of trying to get our champion back, maybe for the final floor here. The rest of this doesn't quite do anything, I don't think. I'm gonna hit this a bunch, but change the math, unfortunately. Yeah, the boss just hitting really, really hard here. Got 100 stacks of frostbite, dealing nearly 2,000 damage. Alright. This has to be good with 8 stacks of spell weakness. Oh, that kills. Alright. Well, barely squeaked in there. But managed to stack enough spell weakness, enough frostbite, and get just big enough of a draft, I guess, that we're gonna get through it. So interesting little run. Not a lot of artifacts. I look at it, but managed to carry the early game with the train stewards, and then set up a plan for later on. I even got Wickless Recruitment going. It didn't pan out. I was hoping I'd be able to clear some melee weakness with it, but never quite drew on the right turns, so too bad there. But applied 1500 burnout, nice. So yeah, another victory in the books, and thank you for watching. I'll see you for the next one.